Welcome to agent training on how to quote a homeowner's, condo, renter's, or dwelling fire policy on the Jurger MGA website. Once you've logged on to the Jurger MGA website, you will select Policy Administration. From the Policy Administration page, you will select New Quote. From here, you have the option of a home quote, or if this is a manufactured home, you would select mobile. In this case, we're going to be quoting a homeowner's policy, and you need to select if you're going to be quoting this with wind or you'll be excluding wind. If you're quoting it with wind, you'll leave the radial button checked. Next, you'll be selecting the plan ID. Will you be quoting a homeowner's, a condo, a renter's, or a dwelling fire policy? In this case, we're going to quote a homeowner's policy. However, any one you select will leave the screens the same. Once you've selected your plan ID, you're going to put in your county, your zip code, first name, your address, your effective date, and the value of your home, and year built. Then you will select Next. Our system will then verify the address. You want to select Use Suggested Address. This will pre-fill all the information about the property into the quote. Your standard coverages will be listed to the left side with your coverage A and your loss of use and liability. And from there, you can then select to increase other structures, increase or decrease coverage C, your liability, and increase your medical payments. Next, you have your hurricane premium factors. Most of this information will flood into the quote if we have it. The renovated roof age will automatically fill into the quote, your terrain, and your FBC wind speed. Do not fill out your FBC credit information unless you have a wind mitigation. Minimum FBC credits are already applied to the policy if it is a new roof. The only thing you can change, I would suggest, would be the roof shape. So you can use other or hip roof. But everything else I would leave as is unless you have a wind mitigation form. Your protection class, construction type, and BCEG will pre-fill. And from here you can select your optional coverages. If you want increased replacement cost on the dwelling, equipment breakdown, replacement cost on contents, if you are excluding water damage, or if you're adding limited water damage only. To add limited water damage, you must first exclude water damage, then select limited water damage coverage, and that will give the policy limited water coverage only. Your credit score, this will be pulled before you go into the application, but if you want to see the difference in premium, if somebody has a better credit score, you can select the higher limits to see what the credits would be and how that would affect the policy. As you'll see off to the right, we do have a rate watcher. So your premium will show you the differences as you're quoting. So you'll know the difference as you're in the quoting section. Next, you put in the rest of your non-hurricane premium factors. Your a burglar alarm, if it's an accredited builder. If the insured is 50 and older, we have an additional discount. Electronic policy discount if they want their policy delivered electronically and nothing mailed to them. And then we also have some additional options for jewelry, watches, and furs, and silverware, goldware, and pewterware. Additionally, you can have scheduled personal property. And then we also have our flood endorsement. Our flood endorsement is usually available for most X zones. However, if you want to see if flood coverage is available, you just simply select to add the flood coverage endorsement. And if it's available for this policy, it'll let you quote the flood coverage. If not, it'll give you an error letting you know that the flood coverage endorsement is not available for this policy. Once you filled in all the coverages that you wanted to add to the policy, you'll simply select Next. This will bring you to your final quote. You can print the quote. Also, all the discounts are listed, showing which ones you've added and which ones you have not added. So if you want to see what the difference would be if they added, say, a burglar alarm credit, the credit is right here. So you don't need to go back to the quote screen. And then from there, if you're ready to go into the application and start this application to bind, you will need to run credit. So you will need to fill this information out and select Yes. From there, you'll select the next section, which will run the credit and bring you to your application. Once you're in the application, you want to complete all the information in the application section. And once you've completed the information, your renovation information will pre-fill for you. And once you've completed this page, you want to select Next. If there's anything you needed to complete and you did not, the system will let you know and highlight it in red that it needs to be completed before letting you go to the next page. This will bring you to page 2 of the application, where you can fill out your billing information, your insured information, and co-applicant if you have a co-applicant. And then there's an additional underwriting information section. And then your additional interest. From here, you will be able to select Next once this is completed, which will give you the option to bind the policy. Once you've completed your 2 pages of your application, you will have the option to save this quote, or you can bind the policy. If you're ready to bind policy, you simply select Bind Policy and Next, and you will receive a policy number for this application. If you want to save this for later, you simply select Save Quote, Next, and you can go back to your main page, or you can select Restart from this page, which will bring you back to your main page as well.